I'd like to ask you to give us a background of who you are, kind of how you got into what you do, and maybe a little bit about Atlanta Soundworks.
It's a great story, much longer story than we have time for, but I will do my best to compress it. I started my early career, I've always been involved and fascinated with technology around audio-visual, and as well as security. And so early on in my career, when I was trying to figure out who I wanted to be and what I wanted to be when I grow up, I had a brief run in access control, security, high-end AV, and then deviated from that, took a little segue into an accounting information systems practice, had that for a little while, and then got into buying and selling phone companies, ended up starting my own wholesale company, which we built up to a little over $4 million in recurring revenue in just under 4 years. Had that sold. We were at the final closing table when the meltdown at the end of 2008 happened. That whole thing crumbled. We lost the whole business because we'd paid off our debt with our cash reserves. So you learn a lot of lessons through those things.
Sure.
But through that whole process, I got a reputation. Didn't know that I was getting that reputation as a turnaround person. And so I got recruited by a board of directors to come out to the Atlanta area and take a look at a technology company in Swanee, Georgia. One thing led to another. I ended up accepting a role there and did some great things. For about a year and a half, we got the company turned around. It had been around for several years and had produced some really cool intellectual property, but lackluster financial results. And within a year and a half, we'd done some really cool high-profile projects, one of them with the city of New York and Visa around the whole 2010 Olympics down in the New York subway. And so that's what got me out here to Atlanta and actually introduced me initially into Galen Boyce and Shane Boyce at Atlanta Soundworks.
Okay, gotcha.
So then after the N4D, which was the name of the technology company, for about 10 years, I had a consulting firm that we built up to, I think at the peak we had about 8 partners involved in that firm. And I traveled all around the world working with different companies, doing turnarounds, organizational transformation, big focus on organizational health. I'm a Patrick Lencioni fan. Then ended up talking in some conversations with between some of the work that I was doing with your dad on the low voltage consulting and design work with some of the projects he was involved in, and Galen expressed an interest in retiring, and so one thing led to another, and so now Shane and I have Atlanta Soundworks.